The Premier League is going to ruddy pop off next season. You can put the farm on it, ladies and gentlemen. Arne Slot's Liverpool, who were deserved Premier League winners last season, didn't get the most insane amount of points, but then again, they weren't up against much, were they? They, of course, are strengthening a lot, spending a lot of money. The likes of Manchester City, who reinforced massively last January, spending 150 million plus on new players. Very much going again, and Pep Guardiola is looking to revitalise. He's even changing his backroom staff. He's getting Pep Linders. There's going to be Pep double, Pep squared. How are Liverpool fans going to feel about that? Even the likes of Chelsea, of course. Chelsea have got Club World Cup money, Champions League money, and they will generate a lot of sales money. Man United, who shouldn't really have any money. It's meant to be austerity Man United. We're talking about, Burmo and Cunha and others. That's much more than I thought they'd be able to achieve. And Arsenal. Arsenal aren't really doing much yet. I've seen actually a lot of frustration from the Gooners online. There was a little bit of a fear of Zubimendi talking about Real Madrid, but by all accounts, he will join Arsenal. But, when are they going to get their striker? When are they going to get their left winger? Well, we're going to talk about it today, the competitive nature of the upcoming Premier League and all the transfer big business stories. Guys, welcome back to Football Yannick. How are you doing? Daily content over on this channel, and there's been some superb momentum, and I'm very, very thankful for that, mate. It's been great fun. I really enjoy uploading onto this channel, and you guys and your support makes it so much easier for me to find the inspo to do it. So thank you. Lots of response from yesterday's video criticizing the new punditry and co-commentary in modern day football, and how I find it quite frustrating personally. But of course, this is just me, my personal opinions. Football is a game of opinions, and if you are interested in hearing them, please do consider liking and subscribing to this channel. Now, reinforcing teams for next season. The Premier League middle class was very strong, and I'm talking like new to the conversation of the top teams. Of course, Newcastle sort of very much muscling the way in. Aston Villa, really rich owners, but of course will now walk the tightrope of financial fair play since not qualifying for the Champions League. Forest will be an interesting one because they didn't finish how they wanted to. They still have European football. They've still got a good team and a good coach in Nuno Espirito Santo, who hopefully for them stays. But even the likes of your Fulhams, your Bournemouths, your Brightons, it's all good now and it's competitive. But the truth be told, some of the real big guns have dropped off massively. Chelsea got better, but of course they're not where they want to be. Man City dropped off despite finishing third, which is, good. It was a podium finish, but they didn't win a trophy, so for them, they'll see it as a disappointing season. We'll talk about their rebuild, of course. The most notable banter clubs, of course, would be Manchester United and Tottenham, but Tottenham have qualified Champions League money and indeed a trophy. But for me, I did react to a journalist saying Ange's going a few videos ago, but no announcement yet. I think they'd do very well to hire Thomas Frank personally in terms of how he's coached attackers like Mbermo, like Sharda, like Visser. I think he'll do well, but I think he'd fit Tottenham really, really well personally. I'm just gonna clear my throat one sec. That's better. You didn't want to hear that on mic, right? So I'm very briefly because I want to go through the teams that I reinforce, juicing up. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on Chelsea. This isn't a Chelsea channel. It's everything but Chelsea. But, there's talks about Mike Mignon. There's talks about Kudus or Xavi Simons. Of course, Chelsea have very high-profile loanees returning, like Santos, who's amazing. Chelsea fans will know this. Esteval Willian, who's the second coming from Brazil, the second coming of Neymar from Brazil, and this is before they sign what we are to expect, a couple of big names on a team who finished top four and won a trophy. They'll be looking to get better. Chelsea are the youngest team in the Premier League last season, another year older, hopefully more experience, a more competitive competitor at the top echelons of the Premier League. Right, Chelsea out of the way. Liverpool, I said it before, Liverpool doing a madness. They've signed Frimpong, they're looking at others, they're looking to complete Kirkes. They're looking to break the Premier League transfer record on Florian Wirtz. Is it Wirtz? Wirtz? I don't know exactly how to say it. We'll learn in time when he touches our shores and gets into our league and our game. Yeah, Liverpool are serious. And no one could criticise Liverpool for spending because they did okay in the Champions League, would have generated revenue. I don't know if they would have got more money for finishing top of the league phase. I know they were frustrated that they bumped into PSG afterwards, but I feel like maybe I'm guessing to a degree, like the Premier League, the higher you finish up in the league phase, I imagine the financial reward is a little bit increased. Certainly, they would have, they've won the Prem, so they got that money. And also, it's really worth noting that Liverpool didn't spend any money last summer. And they had already got Champions League qualification money in the bank, and they'd only ended up signing, Chiesa, and that was like a nominal fee. So they'd had essentially 2 Champions League summer transfer windows saved up with a Premier League title-winning sprinkle of finances there. That's how Liverpool are really like slam dunking all the finances in. Let's talk about Manchester City. Very, very interesting developments. Of course, what's his name? Reinders, the Milan midfielder. They're looking at Ait-Nouri, who is widely regarded as a really good attacking fullback. He will not be an inverting fullback. He will be one guy getting forward, taking risks, doing overloads, maybe kind of doing that sort of Guardiola role of crashing the box, maybe. It looks like they're getting him. They're doing crazy business. Man City, they'll look to spend a lot of money again. And of course, Pep Linders. Once he was at Liverpool for 9 years. I think he even predated the Klopp era, and he was with Brendan Rodgers. I'm not sure how well he's done by himself as a gaffer, but well-respected coach. Kind of interesting because he knows Arne Slot really well from different links, obviously not Liverpool. And maybe Guardiola's looking at Pep Linders and like, right, Liverpool are better than us last season. Not only do you know Liverpool really well, you know Arne Slot really well, the coach, and I'm going to use you to be my secret coaching weapon to get over the line and win the Premier League again and get back on top. He does, to his credit, a bit like Ferguson, I suppose, rotates his backroom staff, Guardiola. He likes to be challenged by all accounts by other voices in the room, despite being this like overarching philosophical coach, Guardiola. He does want to hear like dissenting voices to hear what they think, which is a mark of a obviously great coach. I don't need to tell you, Pep Guardiola is a very good manager. And it's probably a really good move. Be very interesting to hear what the Liverpool fans, how they react to their long-term number 2 under Klopp. Going to essentially the enemy. I know it's not Man United. I know it's not Everton, but it is the new enemy, isn't it? Man City, the team that they've been like neck and neck and like duking it out with for so long. Of course, with all these news of hundreds of millions of pounds been spent from last January to this summer with Man City, the continued narrative is people saying, what's going on with the charges? What's going on with the charges? Well, nothing. I mean, I've done videos on it before. I can only speculate they're comfortable, that they feel like they're fine. I don't think they'd be extending Haaland on 10 years. I don't think they'd be extending Guardiola. I don't think they'd be spending hundreds of millions if they thought they were going to be put in a very financially vulnerable situation with a points deduction or huge fines or relegations, yada, yada, yada. Or they think they can just bury it in the courts for another few years and just carry on as normal. We'll see what happens there, developments, but I wouldn't hold your breath. And so Man City are going to be probably back, really. I mean, Guardiola's, I kind of maintain Guardiola's not at the peak of his powers. And when people say, oh, he's peaked, it's like, oh, he's peaked, he's finished. No, he's gone from like the very best in the world to one of the best in the world who could still quite easily win the Premier League. That's my personal opinion on Guardiola. He's still obviously the best option for Man City. It's not obvious. Loads of people think he should have gone. And maybe at times I do think he should have gone, but not because I think he's washed, just because I think he could have rode off into the sunset on a title win. But maybe he didn't want to leave in turbulent times. I just feel like his insane Man City teams that were just incredible, we won't see that again. And maybe that's largely down to how the landscape of the Premier League is changing, how people play. And how low blocks are genuinely getting better, and they can frustrate Pep more. What else? I mean, we don't know what Tottenham are doing yet. We don't probably know until we know what's going on with the managerial situation. If what's his face leaves, I've already forgot his name, Ange Postecoglou. Man United. I've seen a lot of Man United fans annoyed that Bruno Fernandes isn't leaving, and I kind of understand it because it would have been 100 million, part of the rebuild. Amorim's football is systemic, it's formulaic, it's not hero ball with a guy in the middle. And I do wonder if having Bruno there, who's been their best player, remains their best player. But I understand that kind of like perspective of having a guy who's just your captain as well. So he's got the keys. Is that going to be helpful for the team holistically? I don't know. I understand why some Man United fans are considering that. I heard on the Tifo Football podcast by The Athletic, some of the analysts pretty much posit the same thing. Maybe they should sell him and this, that, and the other. I've seen a few content creators say that. But, regardless, ultimately, you've got the talent of Matheus Cunha and Mbeumo maybe in front of, Fernandes. It's very, very exciting, and they'll just have to be so much better. No European football, so this is the time to really say Amorim's one of the hottest young coaches in the world, we think. He did it in Portugal. Let's have a look. You join mid-season, mitigating circumstances. United are a basket case. Really negative press all over the gaff from Ineos and Ratcliffe. That's all chill out. You've got one game a week. Coach these players. Coach these good players. Yeah. In maybe in Burma if they get him, and Cunha and stuff. And Matt, he loves Mason Mount. I think Mount would be great for him. Settle, coach, repetition. They have to be better. They have to be like so much better, especially without European football. And Arsenal's a really interesting one, I think, because the sort of story's changing a little bit of Arteta, isn't it? Not that he's done amazing work. He's second again, third season in a row. That means you're a good team. But I wonder if it's going to be as easy for him to get second for the fourth time in a row, to get that bridesmaid trophy again. I think it's going to be very hard for him to win the Prem. Who knows? Maybe he gets his Zubimendi, maybe he gets his Seshko, and that's enough. They need a left winger still, but in terms of momentum stories, Arsenal aren't really leading the way in terms of positive transfer story vibes, and certainly that's reflected upon the fan base reaction on social media. It's only social media. But there we have it. But the Prem is going to be juicy. Let me know your thoughts down in the comment section below. Please do leave them. I'll be very interested to hear them. And always, thank you for supporting. Thank you for liking and subscribing. I hope to see you back here soon. Peace.